Hey, hey, I'm asking. Oh, yeah. Them say na court matter, but na jungle law. Fly go Kenya, them no knock door. No trial, no papers, no warning sign. Just from neck beat skin cross borderline. As in no thief, as in no kill. Why are na soldiers, the storm is hill. 28 souls, blood soak the floor. Tell me wetin justice mean anymore. You dey fear is truth, but truth no die. From Umuahia to diaspora we cry. IPOB blood they flow like stream. Biafran dream, they burn with steam. All mass lies, now waiting with their face. Them cover crime, but we know it is. But when them come kill, them face they glow. Soldier no wear mask when bullets fly. Them things say the world, no they watch sky. He run for him life, who no go run? 28 gone, them shoot like fun. No peace for people, we no get name. But Biafra no they play that game. We rise for the fallen, we shout for the change. Even if it pain, we go remain. One America, you see the score. How long this silence go last for? Unmasked lies, now waiting with their face. Them cover crime, but we know it is. Self-determination, don't be seen. Now our right we they fight to win. Mazikanu change my fear, but his voice still loud with the air. Justice cry, and truth go shine. Freedom must come in God's own time. Unmasked lies, now waiting with their face. Them cover crime, but we know it is. Self-determination, don't be seen. Now our right we they fight to win. Mazikanu chained by fear, but his voice still loud with the air. Justice cry and truth go shine. Freedom must come in God's own time. Hey, hey, almost come. In Biafra we stand to the very last drum. Witness na fake show, but when them come kill, them face they glow. Soldier no wear mask when bullets fly. Them things say the world no they watch sky. He run for him life, who no go run? 28 gun, them shoot like fun. No peace for people, we no get name. But Biafra no they play that game. We rise for the fallen, we shout for the change. Even if it pain, we go remain. One America, you see this call. How long this silence go last for? Unmasked lies, now waiting with their face. Them cover crime, but we know it is. Self-determination, don't be seen. Now our rights we they fight to win. Mazikanu chained by fear, but his voice still loud with the air. Justice cry and truth go shine. Freedom must come in God's own time. Unmasked lies, now waiting with their face. Them cover crime, but we know it is. Self-determination, don't be seen. Now our rights we they fight to win. Mazikanu chained by fear, but his voice still loud with the air. Justice cry and truth go shine. Freedom must come in God's own time. Yeah. No must come. In Biafra we stand to the very last drum.
Thank you very much. Good morning and happy Sunday to our viewers. I want to welcome you to this wonderful episode. And I also want to say thank you for being here. I know many are in church this morning, but I think it's convenient for us to come back on board to hold some discussions and dialogue and talk about issues of great importance. As much as we know that many are in church, we also want to hold our own service here today, 21st of September 2025. We want to gather, and as you are joining us, please share this program. I know that there are many of us are already joining. I'm following the comment section, and I'm also seeing the activities on the comment section. So if you share I will know. Let me know those that have shared. The only person that have shared this program and the first person to comment is Nwachukwu Sunday Wodo. Nwachukwu Sunday Wodo. You are welcome to the program. And I want more people to share. I'm going to call those who shared and comment accordingly. So I want to recognize the presence of Maazi Nwachukwu, who happens to be the first person to join this live program. Nwachukwu, tag your friends and invite them. We'll be holding a very, very crucial and important discussion this morning. And I can tell you that it's going to be interesting and wonderful. And this morning, I'll be hosting our brother Mazi Solomon Peter from Australia, which all of you know very well. Um, I'll be bringing him on board, and I hope that he unmute. I muted him earlier because of the noise from his end. I want him to unmute his, so he'll be able to. I can bring him forward on board. Yes. So Mazi Solomon is here this morning, and I want to say, Mazi Solomon, good morning. Can you please position? I want him to unmute his, so he'll be able to. I can bring him forward. So Mazi Solomon is here this morning, and I want to say, Mazi Solomon, good morning. Can you please position? Maybe I think it's from my. Okay, I think we can see you much better now, Mazi. Yes. Good morning from here.
Okay, yes, Mazi Patrick, can you hear me clearly from here?
100%. I can hear you absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much for bringing me once again into your program. This is a blessed evening from my end here. I say good evening to all the listeners and all the friends of Biafrans. As we all knows that we are Biafrans people. And in these very stations, anytime I appear, we talked about the issue of our people, the issue of the old southern region in Nigeria. We talked about the Biafran struggle. We talked about the IPOB, because that is all we represent. Thank you very much for bringing me once again into the program. I appreciate your effort in this media. God bless you. Thank you very much, Mazi Patrick.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to have you. You know that these days getting you is like trying to see Donald Trump. So anytime we get you, we'll try to squeeze the best juice out of you and make sure that we obtain from your wisdom, Mazi. People have been disturbing me. Where is Solomon Peter? Where is Solomon Peter? Many have even been asking, where have this brother been since? Is he still with us? And I continue to reassure them that yes, you are with us, but it is important that sometimes we also take break and reinforce ourselves and return back to duty. So, Mazi, you're welcome to the program. Today, 21st of September 2025. And for me, why I keep quoting the date is for reference purpose. Makadi ama mako ne chagwalo obosi, So it's important that we continue to reference this date for history, so that people will not say, "And when was this video done?" Because sometimes we come here, we say certain things, and people believe or think that we are just saying them for the first time. But referencing the date to help them go back in history to look at some of the things we've said in the past, then resonate with whatever the future will have to offer us. So that is the reason. I want to encourage our people to share this program. Please share this program because it's going to be interesting and it's going to be a program worthwhile. And in the course of this interaction, I'm also going to give people opportunity to participate. Do they want to come on board? Do they want to come live? Or do they want to come through telephone calls, through WhatsApp call? We are going to make all those instruments available. I'm going to be sharing the link soon on the comment section so that people can actually participate if they wish to do so. Mazi, I know you saw the interview I granted Ariana Hens in Catalonia, Spain, where we went for the event to grace the occasion of the Catalonian independence. And I believe that you have gone through that interview, and I know that there are things you would like to take away from that interview. There is a personal question. There is a question I asked her, sorry, on a personal level. And I asked her, what is your own personal conviction? What is your personal conviction about the struggle for Catalonia independence? And the answer she gave me was, if the Catalonian people do not take their independence, that means taking their destiny in their hands, that the Catalonian people are going to die because they feel threatened about their culture and their language. Mazi, how does that resonate with us as Biafra people?
Thank you very much, Mazi Patrick. Um, Thank you for starting the program from that very angle. I've watched that interview, but not like all of the conversation. But this very part you mentioned, I think I've gone through it. So, if you listen to her response, it is very, very clear because before anybody will get involved or will involve himself on anything achievable, you must have your personal interest, personal conviction, personal commitment to that which you wanted to get done. And I believe that what she responded to you is related to our Biafran struggle. We are not in a struggle for Biafra for any selfish reason or for the gain to gain the oil or to control others or to dominate others. But at the same way, we feel threatened that in Nigeria, we are not able to survive anymore. Okay, we have to think about what is happening, the level of insecurity that is happening in Igbo land today. Just take for an example. It has never happened in the history of Igbo land, in the history of Biafran. It has never happened. Our people don't kill themselves. We value life. But today, everything, every crime that is happening in Biafran land is brought to us, by Nigeria. If not for Nigeria, we could have been more developed. We could have been more developed than we are today. If not for Nigeria, most of the crime, that people export, people that went to abroad to commit, if not for Nigeria, we couldn't have people who goes in the name of our people to commit crime, because all the crimes that people that from Nigeria goes to committed in elsewhere is being induced by Nigerian government because they are the product of the country where they are coming from. So all this imbalance is what we are fighting for, to maintain our existence. And this is our commitment, that if we don't fight this fight, as that lady likely mentioned, we will all die. Our culture will die. Our language will die. We will all be wiped out. That some people in the future will come and say that this land is used to be occupied by so people that are no more. And that is why we have to stand up to ensure that we are committed to this struggle. We are committed to this struggle until Biafra is restored, because that is the hope for the existence of our people. We have no more hope in Nigeria. All our all our existence in Nigeria is the death of our culture, because in our culture, so many things today that has not been upheld, that you see people committing crime because we are in Nigeria, that you see that criminals are walking around our communities in daylight, is because we are in Nigeria. To hear that Fulanis are going, killing farmers, destroying farm produce, destroying farms, is because we are in Nigeria. To hear that there is no rule of law is because we are in Nigeria. To hear that there is no road, there is no school, there is no hospital, is because we are in Nigeria. And all these are the injustice we are fighting against. That the poor people need to have access to health center, that they need to have access to health center, that they needed security. These are the injustice that we are fighting. That our children need to go to school, and school needed to be built, and the school needed to be built. Like today, you see so many children studying under a leaking roof, no equipment, no light. The reason there is no light today, the reason our children are studying under open roof and rain are falling on them, is because we are in Nigeria. These are the things we said no, that in this 21st century, we cannot continue to be in Nigeria that is destroying the future of our people. And all the things we have encountered for being in Nigeria since Nigeria is created till today is death. In 1967, a genocide was committed against our people, and the world keep quiet. And after that incident, constantly the killing in Igbo land have not stopped. Destroying of properties, discrimination of Igbo or discrimination of Biafrans has never stopped since the creation of Nigeria. And if we continue in that direction, we will all be wiped away, and we will all be the things of the past. We will be conquered the way that the Northerners, the Hausas, and the people who inhabit the northern territory of Nigeria, the way they are being conquered and being ruled by the Fulanis, we will also be conquered. And all our traditions and all our people and our future will be in the past. And this is what we don't want it to happen. So there must be a personal conviction to all these things for anyone who stand out for this very struggle. You must have that personal conviction that without you doing this, or without you achieving this, then there will be no future of your people in where we are now. Thank you, Mazi Patrick.
Thank you very much, Mazi Solomon. For the past 1 week now, we've seen series of issues rising here and there, and because you mentioned the issue of insecurity specifically, coupled with other lingering issues too, challenges that our people are facing. But I still want us to like maintain some level of analyzing the Catalonian experience, because I've been on the street of Catalonia. I had the opportunity and the privilege to interview young people, to interview old people, interview mid-aged people. And I will be going back. I'll be going back soon as well to interface with the political class, the Catalonian political elites. I'll be going back to Catalonia because I want to have that engagement to, bring forward the argument of all sides, including even the opposition party as well, and that arrangement is on board. But no, no. The reason I want to do that is to also show the Igbo politicians the role the Catalonians politicians are playing in their own independence, because it's very, very important that we look at all sides of this argument to help us have a clear picture of what we are pursuing and the need for it. Now, I've had the privilege, the opportunity to interview different class of people in my course of this journey. And this is my second time of interfacing. The first time was from the studio. I had conversation from the studio in Veneto, and this year I was on ground. And their argument remained the same. They feel threatened. They feel they have the right for independence, and they feel they own their own community and they want to be in charge of their destiny. And I asked one of the young men, do you feel like a slave in Spain? And the answer is yes. They feel like slaves in Spain. These are very hardworking, creative people, but making huge contribution financially, using their human resources to contribute to Spanish development, but they get little result or even nothing. Despite all the infrastructural development I personally saw in Barcelona. Barcelona have a seaport. Barcelona has international airport, and they also have local airport. A well-developed society that when you even go there, you become marveled. In fact, I have gone through the rail system. I saw one of the best in the world underground. When you start going down, you start to imagine you have different levels of tram and rail systems, but they still feel that they want to be in charge of their destiny. Mazi, there was a question I asked a young man, and there is something he told me. He said they built roads for us without our permission. They built road for us without asking us what kind of road. These are people who have road, but they are putting the argument that they were not consulted while even building the road, that they are supposed to consult them, that they are supposed to be in charge of building their own road because they know better what they want for themselves. Now, Maz, you start to ask, can you make comparison of these same people who have good infrastructure, they have the seaport and the airport, but they are still fighting because they feel they want to be in charge of their destiny. How do you make that? How do you make that comparison with our people who have nothing? They have absolutely nothing, no seaport, no airport, nothing. How do you compare them to us?
Yeah, I like Mazi, like so many times when you invited me in this your program, there's one thing that I normally say. I always say that the if the level of um maltreatment that the government in Africa, and mainly Nigeria, if the level of the maltreatment they are maltreating our people from Biafra, the level of maltreatment that they are maltreating our people in the southeastern region, if that measure should be used, even a drop of that measure should be used against the people under British government or under any part of the civil, even under American government, I'm telling you, there will be no road in the street. everybody will be on the street. Just a drop, a slight of what the Nigerian government is doing to Biafrans today, or what they melt against us, the level of injustice they melt against us, the level of killing that is going on in Biafra land, if a drop of it should be used to the Catalonians, or should be used to people under British government or under American government, I'm telling you, nobody under their government can take a drop of that measure. Let me not cut it. Even let's assume in measurement, a three-quarter, a drop out of the level of frustration and maltreatment. If it will happen in British, it will be happen in America, it will be happen in any part of the European nation. My brother, I'm telling you, all the streets will be filled with people. Just imagine what is happening in France today. Just imagine, these are the people who have almost 75% of the amenities that government can provide. 75 to 80% of the amenities that government can provide. Call it housing, call it um, call it healthcare, call it road, call it clean water. Most of the things that government can provide, they have up to 80%, 85%, and some 90%, and yet they are still protesting in the street that their government, the government that is governing them, has not performed. Still, they are still protesting. Imagine if they are being treated like Biafrans, who there is no road, insecurity, every day they are arming Fulani bandits, killing the farmers, destroying villages, and all these things is happening, and yet nobody is agitating, and yet there's no people on the street. But you cannot do it in one or in any of these European nations. They will all go out on the street. It will end on one day. So there is no comparison, Mazi, for somebody to fight for his identity is upright. This is all about the right you have to exist as a woman. It's not about a pinch or a crumb from the table, from the master's table that you are enjoying. Like as most of the politicians in Biafran lands are enjoying, even some businessmen that make them talk against the agitation for Biafra. Once their business is going, once they are making their business, they will prefer to stay in Nigeria because they have already compromised with their identity. They are the reason why all the abomination and the evil that is happening in our land is happening today. They are the reason why our languages are going, our traditions are being rubbished. They are the reason. Okay? So there is no comparison. Seeing these people whose government has did his own part, whose government is performing his own part to the Catalonian people, the government is performing up to 70%. They still see the need to stand up and fight for their right, protest for their right, because it's all about your right. It doesn't matter. Somebody cannot hold your right and be giving you a pinch out of it, and because of that reason he will not want you to talk about your right. Because of that reason, you should stay and not talk about your right and be taking whatever things that is being given to you. or because they build a road, they want you to keep quiet. This is your right. Self-determination is your right. Right to existence is your right. It doesn't matter the number of roads they build, they can. It doesn't matter who they bribe, like as they are doing in Biafran land, bribing the businessmen, bribing the politicians, because they are making profit from the circumstances, the killing of the people. They are making profit with the way that Biafran land has remained undeveloped. So because they are making a profit from that circumstances, they are being bought off, they are being buy off, and they are being buy off. Because of that, they don't want to talk about their rights. They don't want to talk about the existence. They don't want to talk about their tradition and who they are. So this is just a problem that people need to resolve. And this is what will make you to have a conviction about what you are fighting for. It's all about identity. It's all about who you are. It's all about your right to existence. If they are even giving you anything, you should be in control of it. Nobody should be giving it to you, because it is your right to control it. It is your right to control it. It is your right to exist. So it's all about fighting the system that is not favorable for your people, fighting the system that is prefer enslaving your people and making them a slave, and making them not and making them to have anything, not to have anything until you decide to give it to them, while they should be the one in control, while they should be the one determining what they want and doing it as the way they want it, not as the way anybody else wants it. So people should have the understanding of what is going on, and why should people stand up for self-determination. Because if you did not stand up for self-determination, then you will be relegated for nothing. Your generation could equally be wiped away. The existence of your people could equally be wiped away. So we need to maintain it. Like some of us today, we go back, we said we inherit. Let's take for instance, you go back to a village and said, when you touch somebody, said, I am from this village, I am from this state, without you remembering that it is a person who fought and bring that very village into existence. If that person could have forgot about it at that very time, you could have come from nowhere. You could have been nobody. By now, if they asked you, you could have said you don't have a village. You don't even have a town. You don't know where you are coming from. So it's people who preserve that village, who preserve that culture. It is their right. So for you to allow yourself to be overrun by the system that does not favor your right to existence is a sin, is an evil, and it's something you need to fight against. Any system that stands to wipe away your existence. Because if that village or town was not preserved, you could have been nobody today. The same applicable to us. If we did not preserve our existence today, our upcoming generation will not have an identity. We will not have an identity. So many people, so many places where they colonized, the colonizers, where they have gone to colonize, you see that the first thing they did anywhere they stepped, they tried to wipe away the aboriginal of that place. because they want to close their chapter as long as that geographic area is concerned. You must know and fight against any system that is on that very mission over you.
Mazi, hold on. Even outside the colonization, even during slavery, we also saw how slaves' names were changed to take away that true identity. So you see that people will no longer find their root back to where they are coming from. Is it part of also the process?
Yes, that is just the process. That is the thing that is the mechanism that was put in a place. Let's assume, for instance, if we go back to what our names, look at all the identity crisis in the delta, in the rivers, in the river state. They created all these identity crises artificially, that even the people you thought they should know better knows nothing today. Knows nothing. People doesn't even know where they are from. People doesn't even understand why their tradition is the way it is, why their language it is the way it is. Look at all the identity crisis. This is the way it could happen to any people if we don't stand up to fight for our right and our existence. If we don't fight for it now, we will all have this identity crisis. You will speak like Wike, who answer an Igbo man name, who eat an Igbo man's food, speak an Igbo man's language, but he's coming from, he's not an Igbo man. Is this not identity crisis? They created it artificially by changing the name of the communities from what they are called originally, shifting the goalpost for people, from people who actually fought to preserve those land. This is an indirectly conquering the place. They indirectly using that organ, using that mechanism to conquer the generation. If somebody at the generation of some of these elders today can be having this identity crisis, imagine what will happen to the future of the children. Imagine what will happen to the future of those areas. Imagine what will happen. The identity crisis to the upcoming generations will be more than what we are seeing today. And this is the reason why we said no.
Mazi, does it mean that for you to defeat a people, you need to take away their true identity to be able to displace them? Is it an institutional program?
That Mazi, that is an institutional program. That is an institutional program. They install an institution because when you watch at it, Maz, let's take it this very way. Okay? This thing is happening in our present. It is fresh in our memory that in Nigeria today, the Hausa people, they used to be an Hausa people kingdom. They used to rule themselves. They used to be the king of themselves. But right in our eyes, we are just told the story, not any time very long, that they are being conquered by Osuma Danfodio.
Usman Danfodio, yes.
Osuma Danfodio. They are being conquered by the Fulanis, and they installed emir, changing their culture, changing their traditions. Now, the identity of the Hausas are now wiping out. Do you know how many tribes are in the northern Nigeria? How many of these tribes are you still hearing today? They have already been overrun. And they have right for self-determination to preserve. It is their fathers, their forefathers, who first live on the land, that fought still to maintain the name of those villages, to maintain the culture, the language, everything. And now they are being conquered. They are being conquered. And their culture and language is being wiped out. Now, in those people, you discover that their identity is lost. The identity is gone. These are the land that used to be occupied by certain people. But today, they are no more. Even though they can still be alive as human, but there is no history backing them up. There is no identity. They have no identity to
They
claim.
can hold on to that is their own.
Yes, there is no identity to claim. Their culture has been in the past. Everything about them is being wiped out of history. Their cities are being replaced by other people who is not part of them from the beginning. So these are just the problem. And these are the reason why we have to stand up and say, in being in Nigeria is not a way forward to our people. It's not because we hate other people. We want other people's freedom. We want other people to stand in their traditions. We want other people to maintain their identity. We don't want them to have identity crisis. That is why we are speaking up. That is why we are standing on self-determination, calling for referendum, for the things to be done right. So we will continue to exist, so that our language will continue to exist, so that our culture will continue to exist, so that those things that our forefathers fought for will not be compromised, so that we will determine our destiny by ourselves. We will determine who we want to do business with, or who does business with us. We will be able to provide to our people what they want. We will be able to govern ourselves. That is the right every human being have. There is no certain group of people that have this right and the rest of people doesn't have it. We are not stopping any tribe or any group of people from fighting for their self-determination. But we are speaking for ourselves. It's not the act of selfishness. It's not the act of selfishness. It's just a natural recurrence that a people must be people. We must be people. It's not that we hate anybody. In one of my songs, I sang it very clearly that it's not about anybody. It's about us as a people. It's about us as a people. We have the right to exist. We have the right to govern. We have the right for self-determination. It's a right that should be respected. So, and nothing more, nothing less. It's not about what we want to take from others. It's not about. That is why in one of the broadcasts of Mazen Nadgan, he said, we are not dragging for oil. Anything that needs to be shared, we can share. We can share with neighbors. We can share with people. But we don't want you to take away that right for our right for existence. We can have a round table. We can negotiate. We can have peaceful alliances. We can have peaceful alliances. But we want to take our destiny into our hands. So we don't want when the North are sinking, they will be sinking with us. Because we are taught on how to rescue somebody who is drowning in the water. You don't go to that person's front, you go behind the person. Or else, if you go at the person's front, when it grab you, both of you will sink. You will sink, and everybody that is coming today to embrace Nigeria, you will see them sink with Nigeria, because Nigeria is sinking. Nigeria has no base. Nigeria have no stand. It is a fake system installed to enslave everybody. There's nobody. Even sometimes we cry because why we call out Hausa and Fulanis out is because that fraudulent system was handed over to them, and they are doing everything to reserve it because it paid them individually. Not like he favors the northern. He doesn't favor them. It is the same system today that creates that high level of insecurities that they are seeing in the north. It does not happen anywhere that government has to be negotiating with armed group of people. It doesn't happen anywhere that government have to be negotiating with terrorists, with bandits. It doesn't happen. So the level of insecurity in the north is being caused by the fraudulent system, that they used to organize that geographic area as a nation or as a country. Is a fraudulent system, and there is no way you can use that fraudulent system to favor the people or to help the people out. Remember, since the year when Nigeria get independent till today, they never get the best president who work for the interest of the people. They never have the best president that work for the interest of the people. Every time after election, or after coup upon coup, after coup upon coup, they will only have to get a worst government, because it's a fraudulent system. The system was not there to preserve the existence of the people. Rather, the system was there to defraud. The system is there to kill. The system is there to destroy the real existence of the people. So that is what the system is, and is not favorable to anybody. The system is not favoring the north. Is not favoring the west. The Yorubas are suffering it. The Hausas are suffering it. Look at the level of the insecurity. Look at the level of insecurity, killing that is going on at the north. There is at the cost of the system. The system cannot protect any person they call their citizen, because it's fraudulent. That is why they could not uphold their law. That is why the law is not spring in that nation. Imagine a country that call themselves a country. When it is time to come, when it is time for them to please themselves, they break every law. Went to Kenya. They make themselves, it's just like a matured man nakeding himself, remove all his clothes, go mad in the market just for the pieces of meat, for a pieces of meat. So when it pleases them, they can break every law, go to Kenya, adopt one person that have never touched gun, that has never been in any forest in Nigeria, kidnapping people, that have not adopted anybody. They kidnap him, break every international treaties. This is who they are. It only happened with a fraudulent system. there is no upholding of law. That they counted law, that you go to court today and they are counting on laws. This is the law of Nigeria. Why they are counting on laws is because it favor them. Once you don't favor them, they will break the laws. So, but that is what is happening, Mazi. So, fighting for self-determination is not all about selfish gain. It's all about maintaining your the reason for your existence. Now, I have right to exist as a person. My people have right to exist. You should not install a fraudulent system like the system of Nigeria that doesn't foresee for the security of life and property of the people, that doesn't, you know, that doesn't ensure the existence of the people. And you will go, oh, take it easy, don't agitate, just relax. And it has never, since they said don't agitate, it has never get better. They have never improved. Every time they have change of government is about the worst person coming. Even in 2027, they are going to have election. The person that is coming today, they are saying that Tinubu is that. But in 2027, if Tinubu did not sit in that seat, then now after 2027, Tinubu will be an angel. Today, Buhari is an angel. Buhari was a good man enough to have ruled them for 8 years. Tinubu is the bad person today. And I'm telling you, in 2027, when they remove Tinubu or put another person, they will still cry that they didn't know that Tinubu is an angel. That Tinubu, because that is what the fraudulent system.
And even the Tinubu himself knows that they will cry and beg him to come back.
Are they not missing Buhari today? They are missing Buhari. They are counting on how much dollar is before Tinubu came in. They are counting on how much they are buying food stock before Tinubu came in. You know, so there is no progression. We are only going back. We are not moving forward. And we see the level of insecurities, the level of crime that are being committed around across the nation is going to worsen, because the system is the system that should be governed, to be used to govern, the system that should be used to provide security of life and property is what is being used to commit those crimes, to sponsor those criminals.
Please, if you are joining us, please share this program. Share this program, and I've also put the link on the comment section for those who want to make their contribution live with us here this morning. And the number to call in is on the screen. If you want to call in and you want to make your contribution, the number you call the WhatsApp, not a direct call. WhatsApp +39388 1779665. Mazi Solomon, you made your case very, very clear that it is not who mount the seat of governance that matters. It is the system. It is the system. Because when you are given a tool to work, and you are not, and the tool is not right for the job, there is no way you can deliver on the job. If you do not have the right, if you are not given the right instrument, if the structure is not right for you to function, so what you have to do is to start finding a way to get the right tool by restructuring whatever structure to make things work. Now, Mazi, we have seen how the issue of insecurity in the eastern region is being tagged on IPOB, the Indigenous People of Biafra, being tagged on ESN, And recently, we saw even somebody on a platform in the US talking about, the agitators being terrorists and being armed to chase communities away and things like that. Mazi, is it that some of our people do not understand, or they are pretending that they do not recognize that there are genuine agitators and also criminal elements within this struggle? Is it that they are living in that denial? Maz, can you, let's point a little light on that, please?
Okay, Mazi, let me make a clarification today. I hope I'm at home and the children are still awake. Yes. So I might be paying some little attention. So because I've been away since morning, and the kids we wanted to speak to their dad, but I want to make a little clarification today that will help you to underline, to understand what is going on. Okay, Mazi, come with me, please. All this trash that people are saying in social media is most times what Nigeria is doing and what we are doing. We are exposing Nigeria. We are exposing a system that was not created for the people to make progress. And we have been battling with them since this agitation start. And their strength as already satisfied system that was created to govern some people, some group of people in that geographic zone area. Now, I want you to understand that they have strength, they have their strength in fighting back. Do you understand? In fighting back the agitators, in fighting back the agitators. And one of the power they have is a power to make a decree, to make a law, a power to use some of their military and their police, the organs of the government. So they have the strength to use those organs of government to fight the agitators, because it's never in their best interest for you to take your destiny into your hand. The people who create the system and people who benefit from it is never in their interest. Is never, and it can never be in their interest for you to stand up for self-determination, to take your destiny into your hand, to fight for your identity. It can never be for their interest. So therefore, they fight back. So now let me tell you what is happening. Now, when you create a country, there is a way of governing human beings, because we are all individuals. We have our feeling, we have our emotion, and the way you process information might be different from the way another person processes information. And everything that government fight, everything that government use to govern a country is to ensure that they uphold to the rule of law. But people are created to rebel. People are created to rebel and to do things in their own way. But the only thing that is making the nation or making a village or community peaceful is just because people are upholding the rule of law. People are upholding the rule of law, and the whole organ of government is working, is functionable. Let's assume, for instance, when you have a government, they have different arms of government. They have different they have different organs in which they use to govern. So, and one of it is that you talked of their police, you talked of their army, you talk of prison, you talk, okay, all these things, what their functions is to make sure that the rule of law is being upheld. So if somebody, an individual, is taking law into his or her hand, then police will be sent to arrest that person, to arrest that individual. Okay, they will arrest that individual, and they will jail that individual, or they will give that individual the punishment required for the crime they are committing. Are you getting me, Mazi? That is how
Yes.
government, that is how government prevent crime. So, but in the course of IPOP, we don't have that privilege. We don't have that privilege. We don't have the police. We don't have the army. We don't even have prison. So if people who are under IPOP, under the organizations that have been trained to do a particular thing, that are trained or given an office, given an office for peaceful agitation, and for peaceful agitation, and they went and the police encounter them, kill them, wound them, or kill their brother or kill their sister, and they decide as an individual, not as an organization, they decide as an individual to take law into their hand. Now IPOP is well limited to what people decide to do with their life. We are only responsible to what we collectively decide to do. That is what IPOP are responsible for. Whatever we are collectively decided to do as an organization, as an entity, that is what we are responsible. What an individual decide to do with his or her life, there is a day that we will say no sit at home, that we have sit at home. The people and individuals can decide that day that is not sitting at home while everybody is sitting at home. A person can decide. So what IPOP is responsible for is that they said sit at home. We collectively agree that we are sitting at home. So any individual who decide not to sit at home is that individual responsibility. If you comes out that day, and that is why every time sit at home is being announced, Mazi Nandi Kanu will always say, stay at home. If you come out, they will kill you. Because they wanted to blame IPOP at all costs. So if an individual that day decide to come out, and then the Nigerian police kill him, or any mob or any group of people destroy their things or spoil things, it should be that individual responsibility. The day that we say sit at home, that you are not sitting at home, the instruction is sit at home. You should be at home. If you come out by your own decision and anything happened to you, you should not hold IPOP responsible. A group of gang of people, gang of criminals, they can decide to come out because the road is lonely, and they decide to attack people, and they decide to steal from people. How will you then come back and say it is the IPOP people who attacked the individuals? The IPOP people should only be held responsible for sitting at home. That they said we are sitting at home. So we are not responsible for anything that happened to anybody that day that is not sitting at home. And the IPOP also come out and say we are not sitting at home, and some group of people decide to sit at home or decide to enforce sitting at home. Why should you put the blame on the IPOP that said they are not sitting at home? So these things are things we need to understand. Despite that people will come to proclaim that they are Biafran agitators, but in the same time, they are committing crime, should not be the responsibility of IPOP, because IPOP doesn't have police to arrest people who commit crime. The people who has it, who let them to commit crime without arresting them, is Nigerians people. Nigerian police, Nigerian army are the one to hold responsible. If nobody, if the law of the country did not permit people to go into the villages with gun with starting gun to go and harassing people in the community. If police and the army of Nigeria allow people to do that which their law did not permit, and they did not hold that people who did it responsible, they want to put it on IPOB. That is wrong, because it's not the duty of IPOB to arrest the criminals in Nigeria. We are only standing for self-determination, and we are calling for referendum. We are not a state. We are not state. We are not the one governing the Biafran land. We are only on self-determination, calling for referendum. So anything that happened in Anambra State, Governor Soludo should be held responsible as the chief security officer.
Maz, you said that we are not in charge, but from the way the whole blame is being put on, seems like Nigeria have even given up, that they are no longer in charge, that IPOB is now in charge of the eastern region. So whatever happens there, that IPOB should...
That is a strategy, and we are not buying. We are not buying into their idea. We shouldn't play our game as if we don't know our rights. Do you understand? If they have agreed that they want to move forward from what we are agitating for, or from what we are appealing for, they should give us referendum. They should draw out a program to negotiate, to decide Biafra. We are not working on assumption. We only speak to our people. We are not commanding Nigerian government. They can do whatever they want to do, but we are responsible to our people. We communicate our people, and we don't ask our people to go about committing crime. Because even in Biafra land, it will not be allowed. The rule of law should be upheld. So we are not committing crime, and we are not encouraging any of our people to commit crime. When we say sit at home, that is a collective agreement of our people. Any member of our people who does not agree with it have right to leave his house the day we say sit at home and go wherever he goes. Whatever that happened to him, IPOP should not be blamed, because we are not the one governing that area. We are not the one policing that area. We are not the one defending that area. They have their military. They have their police. So if anybody comes out the day we say sit at home and anything happened to them that day, their police should be blamed. Their armies should be blamed, because IPOP is at home. Can we ask people to sit at home and we will be walking on the street? Mazi, is it right? If you say sit at home, everybody is sitting at home. Our people we communicated are sitting at home. So anything that happened that day to people, police and army of the people who are governing that area, who are policing that area, should be blamed. IPOP shouldn't be blamed. If anybody is hiding in any of their bush, coming out of the bush with gun, with Biafran flag, or with Biafran uniform, whatever, meant calling the name of Nnamdi Kanu, using gun to kill people, and the law of that state and the law of the country does not permit it, IPOP should not be blamed. They should arrest that individual carrying that gun that is causing the insecurity. It's their responsibility. Or else they will give us referendum. We will govern ourselves and we take our destiny into our hand. Then if anybody should be carrying gun to be coming to market to kill market woman, they should not blame our government. They should blame the government of Biafra that we allowed our people to be killed by terrorists. So Mazi, I wanted to say this, that so that all the people who are who are are talking rubbish in Nigerian media, they should learn their lessons. It's not everybody, any individual, even if that individual is the member of IPOP, a member of IPOP, as long as his action does not base in the collective agreement of IPOP, he can act as an individual. You can belong to any organization and still you have your actions as an individual. The only time we can be blamed is anything we are acting in our collective interest, in agreement that this is what the organization and the IPOP they have the organ in which they communicate. They have people who make press release on their behalf. They have secretary. It's a well-structured organization. We communicate through Radio Biafra. Anything you did not hear from Radio Biafra, it doesn't matter the name that person call himself and they add Biafra to it. That person is not acting on our behalf. He's acting as an individual. So police and the army should be responsible if they allow that individual to be operating. And nobody should be blaming the agitators. So we need to voice out so that people will understand what is going on. We don't have prison. It's not our responsibility to arrest anybody who commit crime and put him in the prison. It's not our responsibility to bring anybody who is committing crime in Nigeria to court. It is Nigerian community, and that is why we are saying that the reason why this crime is going on is because they have failed. They have failed to govern. They have failed to provide security. They have failed. So why should we continue to exist in a failed nation, in a failed system, to wipe away our existence? It's not being done. IPOP knows what they are doing. DOS knows what they are doing. We know our boundary. Everything Nigeria is known of is breaking laws. That is why they went to Kenya, break international treaties, and make public shame of themselves. And they still today insist in prosecuting the same person they committed this crime against, to see how fraudulent they are. They're only looking for shifting blame. That is why when you even see their government, when Tinubu came, one of the thing they are known of is that when Buhari came, he blamed Jonathan. When Tinubu came, he blamed Buhari. They always want to shift blame. They don't want to take responsibility. You allow people in the territory, you have police, you have court, you have army, you have military, you have which one fly? Navy, you have Air Force. In all these things you have in the same country, you want to blame IPOP for the crime that is being committed in a place you are governed. That is failure of government. That is what IPOP is complaining. That if we continue like this, all our existence will be wiped out and we will not exist anymore. So we need to stand on self-determination. If the Nigeria has changed, should Nnamdi Kanu still be detained in Nigeria? They don't have shame, and they don't want to they are not thinking of revising tomorrow. And you that is hoping, just talk mellow down, thinking that is going to change, you will continue, because as in Igbo amara ọsọ mmiri agba, no mgbe mmiri mawala ha ka ha ebido ịgba ọsọ, until nothing is left. Everybody's life is already put into danger as it is today. You don't go to your community. You are the people 10 years ago asking people stop the agitation, mellow down. But today you can't go to your village. Today you can't travel freely in the country. And you are still asking people to mellow down because you are thinking that it will be resolved tomorrow. But every day is worsening. They are being boldened. Because why is the terrorists being boldened? Why are they having more boldness? to come to social media to show their face is because they are being sponsored by the fraudulent government, because that is the only way they benefit. Everybody that goes there knows that the system is fraudulent. You cannot use this system. And if you make attempt, like as I see Peter be campaigning, said he want to go there to repair it, I feel very pity for that man, because he doesn't know the environment he's treading on. He doesn't know. If you go there and you insist in doing something positive for the people, they will plot your assassination. They will assassinate you. They will do everything possible. It's not about the individual. The moment you come into that office, whoever you used to be before you came there will just vanish. You will see something different. Didn't you see Yaya Bello, where he's advising his colleagues? He said, what they told us is not what it is. When you come inside, you will follow the trend. We will tell you what goes on. Because this thing was not created. They said the government of the people. That this system was not formed for people, for the people. It's not formed for the people. It's very fraudulent. It's not what they show you that the system is all about. So, Mazi, if we don't continue this agitation as they are doing everything possible, now it is the responsibility of IPOP. Some people are saying to IPOP, since you start agitation, what have you done in Igbo land? Now, the development and the work in the Igbo land, in Biafra land, is no more the responsibility of Soludo. It's now the responsibility of agitators. The responsibility of people who say this system that have not developed you is fraudulent. They are the people you are blaming for not have built road. What IPOP have done, what economic this thing value have they brought? Then the people who supposed to do that, who is paid to do that, what have they done? What have they done for you? And that is what people don't understand.
Now,
The blueprint is supposed to be put.
Mazi Solomon, now let's look at the complaint and the attack on IPOB over the issue of insecurity in the eastern region. And the same people who are blaming IPOB for insecurity in the eastern region are still the same people telling us that we can endure Nigeria with the insecurity that exists in Nigeria, with the presence of bandits and Boko Haram and all the nonsense that is going on. How do you now equate their hypocrisy? Because when you look at the situation in Nigeria, you look at the level of insecurity, it's a whole lot of mess. They can tolerate
Yeah.
the insecurity in Nigeria, but they are castigating the criminality that is attached to Biafra struggle. How do you reconcile these two?
Mazi, see, these people, they are not hypocrites. They are only lazy mind. Remember in Igbo adage, asina obolo na ngana kpuchie ute, agụụ ga-ekpughe. Why are they running up and down? This security has made them. Their life, their properties, and their families are no more safe. Their communities are no more safe. That is why you see some of them, they are coming out from their shell to speak. The fact remains that it's not about being an hypocrite. It's about being lazy. They thought that people who preserve that area of the state where they are governing today, and saying, I am indigenous person of they thought that those people who preserve those areas, they preserve it, they got it from the platform of gold. You see, where people are fighting over the property of their father, they thought that some of those property that the father or the whoever that they inherited it from did not have sleepless nights to acquire those things. They are lazy. They are lazy-minded people. They are only thinking about now. They're only thinking about now. They are not ready to sacrifice for anybody. They are not ready to take pain like as our forefathers who preserved that land. The pain they took, the fought they fought. Some of them fought to preserve that area. We are told the history of even when the British came there, they resisted them. That shows that they went through pain to keep that village, that state that you say is my state. I am the governor of that state. Was not given, was not preserved or gotten at the platform of gold. It was under the pain of people, the people that believed their last, that preserved that community. So you shouldn't be coming and be claiming it with mouth. You should be brave enough to say the truth. You should be brave enough to ask for what is right. Stop being a lazy mind. Oh, just leave it like this. Like you want to manage it like people who are driving. When their tire is showing a sign that the tire or the wheel is bad, they say we'll manage it to reach Lagos because there is no money. And when the incident happened, when the accident happened, then the life, it will cost life. It will even make somebody not to work for the rest of his life. Something you could have stopped in one place and feast. Nigeria is not working. We should all accept it. We should all come to that level of acceptance that this is not working because it has never worked. What makes you, if something has worked before and all of a sudden stop working, that could give you an encouragement that this thing has worked before. Maybe we will try to make it to work. But something that has not worked right from the beginning, you are still believing that one day a magic will happen. One day you will have P2B as a president, and then you will start all out of blue moon. It will start working. Tribalism will vanish. Fraudulent system will vanish, and then the country will start working. It can never, because the people that are benefiting from it is bigger, that they are capable of keeping that system. They are capable of preserving that system until people like you will start speaking up, until people like you will start saying the truth, until people like you will stop being lazy in their thinking. The people that is using that fraudulent system, they are capable of keeping it. It will remain like that. As long as you keep thinking lazy, as long as you keep believing, they keep making you to believe that any magic could happen, because that is a strategy that is being used against anybody. Now they are just waiting, people will talk to them. Oh, just leave Tinubu. Highest he will do 4 years. In 2027 we will vote him out. Who told you that this thing can happen? This thing can happen. Who told you that your vote can count?
In
Check
2027,
check every
the votes
indication.
that didn't count in 2023 didn't count. Even
It
before
can
now,
never.
votes have never counted. Suddenly,
This has been the way it is. It has never changed. Who is telling you and giving you hope that tomorrow by magic it will change? It never changed. This is just the way it is. So 2027 will never be different from what it used to be. They will choose the best candidate that will work for their interest, and they continue making sure that everybody lies in poverty, and continue making sure that we are backward in the activities of the world. Continue making sure that insecurities increase because they benefit from it. Continue making sure we are undeveloped. So that is exactly what is happening. And the moment you come to the understanding that this is what this system is meant for, no matter how long you travel in the wrong road, it can never get you to the right destination. Somebody must stand and ask question. Follow the inspiration of the people who composed that song on the river of Babylon. There we are. When they ask us to sing the love song, they say, no, you are in that system of Nigeria. You are in a strange land. You can never sing the Lord's song. The Lord's song there is the song of freedom. Nobody can sing the songs of freedom in the land of captivity. Because you singing it, you get drunk and feel happy, does not change any circumstances around you. Once that drunkenness get over you, you will still meet your situation the way they are before you start drinking. So that is the way the system is. That it doesn't matter how you try to pretend to be the friend of Nigeria, to be the friend of the government, for them to see you in their good book. It doesn't matter how you pretend to be their friend, to be their sheri in town. It doesn't matter. The system is what it is. The mission of system, it is what it is. No matter how long you run in a wrong way, no matter how long you keep believing Nigeria will be better, it will get worsened. The system was not designed to make it better. The system is designed. People who design the system, they design it that way fraudulently in order to continue to benefit. Because I'm telling you, the people who colonized Nigeria, they did not just think 100 years time. I was discussing with one prominent man as to regard to what happened to Africa, and he told me that the the, the colonizers, they are not keeping Africa where Africa is today because of what they are benefiting presently, but they are looking at the future of their country, the future and the existence of their people. If by tomorrow that there was a time when a date and the moment when oil was discovered, and they find that this oil can be useful to them to maintain the existence and the prosperity of their nation, so they start exploiting oil. That they are just thinking that in the world to come there might be one mineral resources that will required for their
Just
people to
like
exist, for
Mazi,
their
just
people
like
to be
coal,
exist.
just like coal. At some point, coal was the new trend in time.
Yes. So they say they are not keeping Africa because of what they have discovered and what they are benefiting today. They are keeping Africa because of the future. What about in future? See the way they think. And lazy mind like you will not think that the reason why they want to still stay in Africa in control is because tomorrow things might change, and there might be a requirement for them to exist, and it will not be found anywhere but in Africa. So if they have let an Africa and something happen, that means they will be overrun. They will be coming on their knee to beg Africa. So, and they don't want that to happen either to them or to their future generation. So Africa must be kept where they are today, so that they have anything changes and is found in Africa. So they will not need to go on their knee to get it. They will continue to exploit Africa till the world end. And that is the way they are thinking. Africa can never be let go. That is why they design the system the way they design it. And that is why a lazy mind like you should stop thinking lazy. Should wake up from your dream that this thing was not designed to preserve your existence. Is designed to wipe your existence out systematically. Because it gets worse as you go. The people who enjoyed that Africa, who enjoyed Nigeria, are the only people in the past, only people yesterday. The people who enjoy the best of Africa and the best of Nigeria are the only people who existed yesterday. It's never for the future of the children of Africa. It's never for the future of the children of Africa. Nigeria is never for the future of the children of Biafra, children of Igbos. Nigeria is never for their betterment. They keep sponsoring tribalism. You think tribalism is coming from a Yoruba man? No. Some people, the way they are sponsoring terrorism in Biafran land is the way they are sponsoring terrorism in the way they are sponsoring tribalism in Nigeria. Because they will never wanted you to meet together. They will never wanted you to unite. They will never wanted you to realize that systematically you are being wiped out. They will never want you to realize
So
it.
Mazi, are you saying that the surge in tribalism in Nigeria is engineered to keep Nigerians disintegrated and not never to allow Nigerians come to terms with the reality of their situation? Because you
But
need
that is exactly what it is.
yes.
That is the system of divide and rule. As long as you people did not have any agreement, are not coming together, are not reasoning together, they will continue. The system will continue. That is the fuel that run the system. Tribalism is one of the fuel that run that system. In case we stop supplying the petrol.
Mazi, don't worry, we understand there are distractions around you. We recognize that you are a family man with children. So not minding, these are also Biafra children. If
Yeah.
it's possible for them to even come and greet us, we would have even be very happy to say hi to them. To also tell
That
them
will be
that we are
that will
hearing
be
their noise. You
give
know.
me a moment.
Yes, so this is Mazi Solomon here, trying to uh, interpret things that are happening. And I've always said it that Mazizomo is one of a kind. Anytime I bring him up on program, I learn new things, and he's worth listening to. Now, the number is on the screen for those that want to call in. Those that want to call in, the number is on the screen if you want to make your contribution. Then, if you want to come in live to join us, go to Patrick Ikem Chronicle on the live program. You will see on the comment section that the link is pinned on the comment section where you can join. For I know that we have a lot of our people watching us from the background, because these days people no longer like to tap full screen, because as soon as you tap full screen, your identity will show. So people prefer to watch from the background without tapping full screen. So we know that thousands and thousands of people are watching, but I will urge that as you watch us, as you follow us, please share this program. Share this program because it is worth sharing. Tag your friends because it is worth tagging. Mazi Solomon, each time he comes, come with a new inspiration, and it's important that we let the world hear his voice. Mazi, you're welcome back.
Thank you very much. As I said, I'm home. Um, my kids are around me, always around me whenever I'm home. So yeah. So I apologize for that. So moving forward, we must understand the situation we find ourselves in Biafran land. It's like as I will find some people will come, with this blaming game, and I equally get amazed because so many of us, the biggest challenges we face is that so many of us come out for this very struggle without understanding the way the system is working, the way the whole system is working, the way IPOP is structured, and why IPOP is structured the way they are structured. And I always, all the time, I am telling like what is not in IPOP, okay? What is not in IPOP that some strange people brought it in. If you go to the structure of IPOP, there is nothing like a spring leader. Uchemofo was the one who started calling Nnamdi Kanu a spring leader. But that is not the structure of IPOP. All those negative elements that are being introduced by individual. And why did he name Nnamdi Kanu start calling Nnamdi Kanu a spring leader because he wants to preserve his position. He wants his position. He wants to make sure that his position is not competitive. So he wants to preserve his own position, that a spring leader, then the vice or the next in command of a spring
Will be
leader is
deputy, will
permanently
be
placed in office.
deputy supreme, yes.
Is a deputy spring. So, and all these things are just self-interest that our people are pushing. And these are what of the most
But
of the things that
Mazi, we've never even seen Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself refer to himself as a supreme leader.
it's never happened. All these things, okay, read about the system of that spring leader. Spring leader is what most of the developed nations, advanced nations, even the people, okay, even the Israel that you guys always call that you are aligning with Israel. The Israel, they believe in democracy, and you are talking about spring leader. Spring leader, is it not among all these things that Iraq and Singapore and all these things, how these people are doing, which the advanced nation of the world is just against those spring leader system, and you are calling somebody spring leader, and still you want to align yourself with a progressive nation under democracy. And our people are structured in democracy. We think independently. We are individualists. And you are bringing spring leader, a strange element, into our struggle. And all today, all those people who are introducing all those strange elements into IPOP, they are the people who goes out to complain more. And they look for other people to blame for their errors. When they see that what they are pushing for is not is not solidified, they will go out and start playing a blaming game. It's now the fault of Nnamdi Kanu. It's now the fault of DOS. It's now the fault of IPOP. It's now the fault of this person. It's now the fault of this person. But the structure, what you are introducing, you know that it is based on individual pursuit. It's not like this is the structure that can take us anywhere. Well, which country of the world, which country is he aligning with that spring leader name that he start giving to Nnamdi Kanu? What country of the world, despite for him to be a permanent deputy spring leader, untouchable, unremovable? So, Mazi, I can say for now that most of the things that are being blamed to IPOP are not real. Like the way they sponsor division in Nigeria through tribalism, through the element of tribalism, is the way even in IPOP, because they don't want the voice of IPOP. They don't want people who think like IPOP, who think in the directions that IPOP we are thinking in this struggle. So, because they don't want such people to exist, they also sponsor all manner of things. That is why they come out and they sponsor with full force. They sponsor autopilot. What kept them in the autopilot? It's not about what they want to do. It's about the money they are seeing that is flowing. They call for fundraising. Mazi, have you ever thought, who are these people that actually giving these individuals money? What did they promise them to do? They come to media here, they tell them, Biafra, we will restore Biafra on the 26th of May. What strategies, what have you communicated? What strategies do you put in place to tell people that on 26th, by December, you restore Biafra? You tell people you are fighting for Biafra. You have Biafra Liberation Army. What strategies to raise the army? Is it to give people gun? No, that is not principle of raising an army. An army is a chain reaction. You need to arm Biafrans. arm them with technology, arm them with technical empowerment. Make sure they know how to repair tires. Make sure they know not to run into the bush and you start calling them your liberation army. And these people cannot fix engine. They cannot even fix bicycle. They don't have any natural skills. Only on how to pull trigger. Who doesn't know how to pull trigger? Ordinary people everywhere know how to pull trigger. That you give people gun.
Even Fulani in the bush are pulling trigger.
They know how to pull trigger. Even the little kids, they know how to pull trigger. This is not a training. You should empower the people intellectually. You should give them skills that their contribution will be based on their skill. Though they in a state like this, you will have a structured you have a structured organizations as their military. But when you go to their military reserve, you will discover that it is all about technical knowledge. Even the structure of their military is all about technical knowledge. Because to fight, you need to be mentally structured. To engage on a fight of liberation, you have to be mentally structured. Mentally structured. That is why an army will be fighting an enemy, but will not lose the compassion. Will not lose compassion on children, on women, on the weaker vessels, on the weaker links. They will prefer putting their life online than seeing a weaker vessel go down. Because they are mentally structured. It's not people who drink Mbulumili and then knows how to put trigger, know how to pull trigger, and you will send them that they are your liberation army. Where is the intelligence? Where is the mental structure of those individuals? Where is what is their mental capacities of carrying a gun? What makes you believe that they will not malfunction? What makes you that these people...
Mazi, I even saw, coming to the issue of Bulumili and the use of drugs, I even saw in one of the videos where the self-acclaimed Liberation Army Gentle the Yahoo was saying that even when they bring Igbo, that is marijuana for them to smoke, that they don't just smoke it, they allow the buyer to first test it to avoid being poisoned. So it means that some of the activities are driven under the influence of drugs, obviously.
That's exactly what it is. Because you will tell me what training did you... how can you wake overnight and say you launch people to be your military defense or Biafran Liberation Army? What training did these people undergo? What mental capacity did they have to function in that capacity? So that is wrong. And it will look like it is our people who are supporting this move. Our people never support it. It is the same people who is supporting the insecurity, who is sponsoring the tribalism in Nigeria. The same people, they give more money. And when these individuals that are involved in this crime begin to see money, they equally give them gun. When they begin to see money, they act more. They feel like they have arrived. That's why they keep speaking. They keep calling for fundraising, because the people who are sponsoring the system in Nigeria is sponsoring them. And that is what people don't know. So, Mazi, this is just the pure truth of what is happening. Because at the end of the day, they have only kept uh, uh, IPOP to blame all crime on them so that the world will see them different from what they are. That is why BBC London will be the first to announce that a notorious IPOP command has been arrested. They describe proscribed the IPOP leader. You know, they are the one pushing for the information for the world to see IPOP. They will blame the crime on IPOP for the world to see IPOP as different from what they portray. And some of our people who are lazy in their thinking, who are lazy in their thinking capacities, are falling for it, are giving their emotions to it. How can one person come and say he want to fight for you to liberate you? It doesn't happen in 21st century. In 1960, in 1967, Ojukwu has everything under his control. That is why he was able to engage Nigeria. It's not now that Nigeria is under the cover. The governors are working for Nigeria. You are even your local government, even your town councillor is working for Nigeria. Then you tell me that you want one person want to stand up to go and fight for you. No, it doesn't happen. You must carry your publicity. You must carry the publicity that you are doing, the campaign you are doing for Biafra, until your councillors start supporting you, until those people, those agents of Nigeria, as your governor, as your councillor, until they turn to your support. You must gain ground even to the lowest grassroots of government elements. You must take control of those government elements for you to be able to deliver protection for your people.
Mazi, this brings me to the earlier position that I took about the Catalonian independence. And the reason why I said I will still be going back to Barcelona to continue to engage the political class and also to bring that argument forward to show the Igbo politicians the role the Catalonian politicians are playing in the support of their freedom and independence. It brings me to that position. You have landed where we started from, Mazi. How do you
That is
correlate that?
you know, that is when we come to discuss our strategies. That is why when we come to discuss the strategies, IPOP strategies, then now we analyze this, because people always think that what Mazin Nnamdi Kanu most times come to broadcast about in the radio Biafra is all about what IPOP is doing, or what all about the plans that IPOP have. There are so many issues, there are so many challenges confronting IPOP that people who are into the system, they are seeing those challenges. But those people who are not inside, who are just OEA members, they are not seeing those obstacles, those challenges that are facing IPOP. And it is under the responsibility of DOS to design a strategy, of the strategy in in to approach those challenges. Okay, so in one of our approach diplomatically, we are standing on our agitation, communicating our people that this is their right, they have to stand on their right. But in the other hand, the DOS are making every effort to make sure that every Biafran that is needed to be involved is get to be involved. It's not about coming to announce. There is diplomatic approach going on. There is already strategy mapped out. And when Nnamdi Kanu was in Israel, you hear one of his broadcasts where he said There is 3 steps in getting Biafra. That we shall follow this one and he know the rest. There is something that in every leadership, there is something that the public knows. There is something that the leader, the coordinators, they know that the public doesn't know. That is why they are leader in that organization. And your own contribution as as a member is to trust your leadership. When you trust your leadership, that will empower your leadership to deliver through a design strategies that leadership has designed to deliver to you whatever things that is of profit or is of benefit. But if you don't believe in your leadership, if you don't support your leadership, how will they deliver in a good plan? It becomes impossible, because you are making yourself available. You are making yourself to be an obstacle. You are making yourself available to the enemies of the organization to be used. And that is why they use so many of them during the reign of autopilot. They thought in their mind, according to what they are told, that that is just the way to engage the government of Nigeria and get Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out, which is literally, when you looked at it, it sounds like a truth. But that is the worst lie that anybody who understands what self-determination is all about can believe. You cannot engage people in your weakness. You cannot use weakness to engage a government that has everything under their disposal. Rather, you will look part of your strength to engage. Because ndị Igbo si na ihe danalị mmiri bụ ụkwụ ka eji achụ ya. You need to know, you need to sink deep to understand who is with you and who is against you. You need to stay back to be able to plan, to be able to execute a kind of plan that will get you a result. You cannot go by force. People that have already taken 80% or 90% of what you can use as a force. Nnamdi Kanu is already in their hand. Nnamdi Kanu is already in their prison. You are not even sleeping with Nnamdi Kanu, of which it doesn't take one bullet or two bullet to announce to you the next day that Nnamdi Kanu is no more. It doesn't matter millions of people you went outside to kill. During 1966 coup, they went and killed the Satuana of Sokoto. They went on raid. They went out and killed a lot of people. The number of people they killed did not bring back the life of the man that has already been taken. During Abiola crisis, how many people died? Did Abiola come back to life? Did the people move on after a few months or not? They move on because the system to control them is in place. They move on. So it doesn't take like the one we are hearing in America. How old is the man? Is the guy who shot the child? Charles. How old is him? It doesn't take one bullet, more than a bullet, more than a shot. Everything will be bygone. Highest you will carry stick. You will carry stick 1 week, 2 months. After 2 months, 1 week of carrying stick, they will use the system to control you. And the IPOB, DOS, they stood on the gap. But all these recruited elements could not give them chance. could not give them chance. Men who has put everything online to fight for you, who should be trusted. No, you are not trusting them. You are trusting Ochaka Omaka, who later become your prime minister, who promised you Biafra today, tomorrow. Under what strategy? Nothing. So, if we discuss on strategies and on leadership, then I will be able to tell you the reason why most of the people who are on the front line were not able to join like as we see it in Catalonia. Because our people doesn't know what it takes to run organization. They are very, very, very individualists. Everybody want to talk on his own. Everybody want to chance who. Everybody want to come and say his opinion, and they make it that his opinion is going to be the opinion of the organization. That is why you see a lot of fallout in the social media. They don't make sense for complete 6 months. Even 4 months, they don't make sense. After coming out, after having 100 view, 200 view, they stop making sense. They come on their opinion, on their analysis. They believe that whatever things they have been able to analyze is what it is. Nobody crossed them. But that is not it. When you have a leadership, when you have organization, you need to put your faith in that organization. You need to
And
put your faith.
Not just also putting faith, but also working together to see progress.
That is what I mean by putting faith, because your faith has to do with your core belief. You need to believe in that organization. If there be anything that you find that is not properly done, that is against a collective decision, then use the organ. Use the same organ provide. Don't go outside the organization. Use the same organ provide in that organization for anybody's voice to be heard. Go through it. There is in IPOB, every organ in which your voice can be heard is well defined. Why are people not following it? Why?
Because of lack of discipline. Now, Mazi, we have about 2 minutes because our subscription is running out. After 2 minutes, I'll be back. For those who are following, in 2 minutes, I'll be back again where we are going to allow people to call in. I hope that people call in. I know that anytime I'm discussing with you, it is always difficult for people to call in because they are enjoying the discussion so much that they always agree with whatever we say. So it's difficult for you to see anybody to oppose.
If they are enjoying the discussion, let them make comments. Let them
Yes, we
send a
want to
like.
see also comment.
Let them share the because that is the only way people will prove that you are making sense to them. They have to share the program. They have to send
Also,
like. They have to
drop
send
your
love.
comment.
They have to
Make your
comment.
call. Yeah, call in. The number have been on the screen. About not very soon, we will be going out and we'll be coming back. So when when you see that we are out, go back in few minutes again to Patrick Ikem Chronicle and also on YouTube. You see us back live again, and we have just less than 60 seconds. We'll be logging out and we'll be coming back again. Mazi Solomon, I think that I have to log out now and I'll be back again. Yes, so Biafrans, I'll be back in a minute or thereabout. Go back to Patrick Ikem Chronicle and you're going to see me there once more. Thank you very much.